You can safely downcast by using if let and as with a question mark. In line 6, downcast dev from type developer to type iOS. So we have a developer class and we have a class called iOS, which is a subclass of the developer class. We then have an array called devs, and the array has a developer and also an iOS developer. We have a variable called iOS developers, and we start counting from 0. We then iterate through our array and say for developer in developers. And then we're using if let to safely unwrap my dev, and we say if let my dev equals dev, and the developer in developers can have multiple types. It can be of type developer or it can be of type iOS. And what we want to say here is that as iOS. So we're basically saying if the type is iOS, then create the instance variable called myDev and continue. And we basically then want to increment the iOS developers count by 1. And lastly, we want to print to see how many iOS developers were found. And the answer that we expect is 1, because in line 3 we can see that only 1 iOS developer is in the array. So you can see that when we print this, that is exactly what we get. So you can use if, let, and as to check for the type. In this case, we're checking for iOS, to safely unwrap optionals and check for types. If you remember, if let is used anytime we encounter optionals, because it is the best way to safely unwrap them, because your app won't crash if the optional is nil or doesn't exist.